I have here the Fichet 787. This is the external side of the cylinder. It's got a fully functioning blocker. And I'll start by putting some tools in place. I've got a flat plate that I just pushed in front of the shutter. You can allow that to fall to the bottom. I'm going to do my best to center that plate. And then I'm going to put a second plate. This one has a hex nut welded onto the front. So I'm going to push the core back, this wire, and rotate. So now that plate's between the front of the housing and the shutter. I'm going to lift that first plate back up. Grab the center with this wire. I'm going to use this screw on the other plate to pull it forward. Push the first plate back, and if I can maneuver this, I want to get one of them in front of the other, which I think I just did. Okay, so now it's a little bit of fine tuning. And I'll get a thicker wire just to center all that a little better. I know you can't see any of that. It's pretty far recessed, the shutter in here. It's about back here in the lock. My fingernail is. But now I've got two plates in front of each other. I'm a little concerned if one might be rotating. Hold on. Just make sure that that's angled appropriately. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, so two plates in front of each other. At the bottom. Now I can put this screw in, which will actually provide the tension. I can get that in place. Being a little stubborn, hold on. Okay, there we go. All right, so now as I turn this, the two plates separate, the core pushes back, and right about there, I'm at the fence. So back 2 rotations from there, and we're ready to start picking. Okay, so I'm going to start in lever 6 on the side here. So it's completely free at this point. Then the blocker starts to engage right around there. Okay, so now the blocker has it locked in place. Now I don't know if it's set until I move all the way to the fence and test it. I'm getting some sound. Let's compare. That's it. If I sound like I'm surprised, it's because I never get that in the first try. I must be picking this lock quite a few times to get the muscle memory. I can get that in the first try now. But in any event, that's 6. We're going to work out from the middle, so now I'm going to look for 5 and 7. And you need to ease up tension a little bit. that's 3. Still can't find 5 yet. There we go. It's all better. Seven stuck in the blocker. 5 is 2 for that matter. I need to back off further. Okay, there's 5. I can feel the front edge of the gate. And there's 7, but 7 is still stuck in the blocker, so I need to work on 7 first. Wow, it's really stuck, huh? Okay, hold on. Might have just been it. Yeah. Okay. I finally got some movement on the blocker there. 5, I don't feel the blocker interfering as much. I feel the front edge of the gate right there. And 5 is set. Hear that click in both directions. It's either side of the gate. Now 7 I'm a little concerned about because it really seized up. And meanwhile, let's just see if 6 is stable. Nice. So 6 is staying put. 5 is pretty straightforward. 7 is a bit of a problem. Not sure what to do about that. I think I need to try to knock it free. Hold on, that's good. Hear that? Okay. I lost it again. For a moment, I felt like I was able to feel through the blocker on 7 and feel the gate. But once I set 5, I no longer have that sensation. Here it is. Perfect. All right. So there's 5. And there's 7. And there's 6. Next up, 4 and 3. We're going to keep on working on the middle of the lock. Okay, so that's the front side of 4. No blocker interfering. It's a very low, shallow set. Okay, that's 3. I can hear the blocker, but I can reach the near side of the gate, and that is a very deep set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very slowly release tension to try to clear both of those gates. Well, try to be a little more careful than that. Okay, I pushed it a good deal. I'm still holding strong on 5, but I am not passing on 3 or 4. Okay, that's 4. Just passed the gate on 4. 5 is holding strong. 3 is still stuck. Okay. So I had to give up a little more ground, but where is it? It's right there. Oh man, so close. Okay, I'm going to give up a little more. Okay. Come on. Right there. All right, let's use 2 picks. Got ya. Okay. Where did I overset? I think I might have overset 3. And 4 is jammed. Okay. I'm going to have to do better than that. Okay, 3 dropped. Trying to knock 4 loose. Wow, 4's really stuck. There we go, finally. At least I didn't lose 5. All right, so I'm back to 3, which is right there. 4. Which I can't feel anymore. All right, just loosened 4 up and now it's jammed again. There we go. Just think I need more room. I think 4 is overset. No way, I lost 6. I mean 5. Come on. Okay, 5 and 7. Well, that was quite an adventure. Think the smoke's clear? Let's see. That's 3. That's 5. That's 7. That's 6. Okay, 4 was slipping a little still. Let's give it one more round. All right. 3 through 7 are stable. Ooh, there's a lot of ping pong going on there between levers 3 and 4. I had overset 4 early on, but you know, resetting everything and just delicately alternating between 3 and 4, making sure 6 and 7 were staying, 5 and 7 were staying put. And I guess one saving grace is 6 was fine the whole time. We've got 3 more levers though. We've got 8 all the way at the bottom, which is moving, but I can feel it hitting the near side of the gate. Got 1, which is locked completely in the blocker. We've got 2. Which is free. So 2 things are happening. One is the blocker is tilted now such that the top of the lock, and notably lever 1, is completely locked down. But the flip side of that is I have no interference from the blocker on lever 8, and I can feel the side of that gate pretty well. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little break. But while I'm doing that, let's think about the next stage here. I'm going to want to work on 8 next and see if I can find the point where I can clear that gate, and hopefully without, I don't think I'll drop completely any of the other levers, but I'm going to have to be careful putting everything back in place, because as we saw, particularly with 3 and 4, they can get out of their true gates and require just some balance on either side to slowly bring them back into place. And hopefully while doing that, I'll find the point at which the blocker on 1 eases up, and then that'll allow me to set that afterwards. Okay. So let's start with 8. I can hear it very clearly. Make sure I get a better seat. Okay. There's 8. Okay, I think I slipped. I don't think that's... Still feeling gate. At the original gate? Yeah. Okay. All right, I moved past the gate. Now let's see what's happening at that position. Well, the blocker on 1 is completely disengaged. Three, 5, and 7 are still by their gates, but they're at the edge. 6 is still set. 4 is right at the edge. And 2, of course, is still free. Okay, so slow and steady. Just want to tighten everything up. This is the tricky part. I'm going to be particularly interested in anything that lines up along the way. Okay, that was a little push on 3 right there. So as soon as something like that happens, I'm going to stop and go back to 8. Yeah. 8 just got pushed out. Now 8's binding. Okay, so 3 and 8 are interacting with each other. See if there's anything else going on. I thought 4 might be in trouble given how it plays with 3, but it's okay. So I'm going to need to do the same thing again, but this time simultaneously work 3 and 8. Okay. Let's make sure everything else is kosher before we keep on going. Okay. Feels good. 3 even feels good. Okay, a little bit more of a push. All right, now 3 is binding, but unlike last time, I'm going to stick a pick in here on 8. Okay. Good. So far, so good. That time 4 bound up. And that interacted with 8. Was able to push it back, but that was a hard push. So far, so good. Okay. I seem to have lost 8. Okay, I'm going to go back. Might have been too far. Might have overset it. That might be the problem. Nah, I don't believe that. It's just not behaving like I expected to. But I'm not sensing any other informative feedback, except maybe from 4. I think that might be it. I think 4 and 8 might be playing off each other. Let's work them at the same time here. I can only conclude that 8 is overset. Nothing else really makes sense. Okay. 8 dropped a little bit. So 3. Nice. The problem is that the blocker is interfering 58 and 8. So I think I have it, then all of a sudden it seizes up. And if I catch the wrong gear in the blocker, then there's no way out. I think this is what I'm experiencing right now. That friction ahead feels like the blocker. Yeah, then as I increase tension, I'm just mashing the fence into the side. Okay, so that's pretty sure what's going on. We need to retreat enough so that the blocker is free, right there. And then see if we can't catch the gate before the blocker comes back. Yeah, I feel it already. And again, we're stuck. I am trapped in the same pattern over and over here. So I kind of have to guess which blocker setting is going to put me in the gate. It's not that one. Now there's the tiniest bit of movement. Still ping-ponging now. That doesn't feel like right. All right. One more time, see if we can take a fresh look at this. So much nicer when the blocker was on lever 1. How quickly that thing pivots around. Okay, this is interesting. I think I feel the gate in the back side, which suggests that 8 is overset. Yeah, because the only thing that happens when I increase tension is the blocker comes down and immobilizes it. Okay, I'm going to try to reset 8. That's interesting right there. Something happened. Oh my, is that the gate for 8? Thought I was there for a moment. Here it is. Guess what, folks? 1, 2, 3 and a half. Oh, 4. The lock is picked. Whew. Oh my. That was quite a long video. There's quite more to it. Let's see how we should do this. I think before I go too far, let me get these tools out of the way. I'll unlock focus, zoom out a little. Okay. And what I'm going to want to do is take this out of the vise. Oh, you know what? I should turn the core. Forgot about that part. Hold on. Okay, that looks, it's hard for me to see, and hopefully you'll get a closer look, but I think I got a little bit more than 45 degrees, so we're safe to now play around with this a little bit. So I'll just put that down, get the vise out of the way, and let's see if I can't set this up for a better camera angle. I'll put a stand here, and then let's see. I'll very carefully take this phone out. Its current setup. Okay. And here we go. That's pretty good, right? All right. And I'm gonna need a gunning tray. Here we go. Let's see if I can improve the light a little. Okay. It's probably good enough to get going. Although, let me get my spotlight over here because it's very difficult seeing in some of these parts. So, first things first. You probably can't see the core quite. No, you can kind of see it turned there. You can see that where the cam is turned 45 degrees here in the back. Why don't I start by just taking these tools out? Okay, it's one. Actually, it's a bunch of pieces at once. But I still have the back plate in there. But there's so much room now with the core pushed back that I literally just pull it out with a magnet. Okay. All right, now let's try that again. See? 45-degree turn. Okay. I'm not going to get that anywhere close to 90 degrees for reasons I will explain in a moment. So let's lock it back up. I'm just going to use this wire to stick in there, and I'll turn back, and we're locked back up, and probably worth showing you that the key is still working. There we go. Okay. Now, few things. Pins. So there are two pins that hold this thing in place. And you see I've removed one. It's sitting right here. I removed it already. And the reason I did that is I didn't want to have to really bang this thing with a hammer right now. So this top one, I have manipulated enough that I should be able to just push the key in and push it down by hand. Okay? See how easily that went in. And then with that pin free, I need to take the backing off, and then the core should come out. Now this backing is obviously not an original backing. There are a few different variants of this lock, the Fichet 787, and this is called an adaptable version as opposed to a monoblock. And what that means is that the inside and the outside, this is the outside, are two separate pieces. And so I added this hardware. And a friend in the community gave me this nice 3D printed back that simulates, being mounted. Okay, so here's the hardware for the other side. And you can see here just a 3D printed back plate. All right. So now, since I took that pin out, I should be able to pull this whole thing out, just like that. Okay. So now the housing is empty. Let me see if these spotlight's doing anything for me. Let me see if I can get a little bit better light here. Just so hard to see deep in that thing at the right angle. Yeah, not really doing much, but you can see it's empty. I'll put that to the side. Then we have a few interesting pieces here. First of all, that's the pin that just fell out that I pushed. You see it fell out right. It fell right in there when I pushed it through and then just fell apart. So this is the back plate, and you see when the lock is locked up, like right now, it can only move this far. You can literally see the fence right in there. But when the key is inserted, am I doing this properly? Yes. When the key is inserted, then it can go all the way. And then these little slots on the side can navigate these grooves here. And so you can turn and turn the key. Anyways, this backing comes off just like this. And here's a critical piece. That is the fence. Will you focus for me, please? There we go. That's the fence right there. I can show you more pieces of this later, but let's just do the most important ones first. The other very key thing that I was wrestling with for quite a bit is the blocker. I'm going to very carefully try to take that out on the side so you can see that. Okay. That is the blocker. Focus, please. See, perfectly intact, the edge there. And we can even take that apart too if we want to, but let's get to that later. Then the last critical piece to show you, of course, is all the workings of the gears. So, come on, focus. There we go. As I push the key in, all those gears line up and allow the fence to go right into that groove. You see, perfectly aligned. And now I also want to show you this. These are the actual levers that interface with those gears, and watch. As I push in, Watch as I pull out. Oh, they all go perfectly back into place, just like a new functioning lock. You might not be impressed right now about that, but I'm going to break this lock completely down, and you'll see just what I had to do. It was in bad shape, this lock, so a lot of pitting and corrosion damage, and I was able to repair it so well that the operation is just as clean as you saw. So those are all the core functionality, but for the heck of it, let's just break this thing all the way down. This is the top, this is the bottom. There are lots of different posts to poke apart. So we're going to start with this one here. I'm going to pull out this main post, and this holds all the gears in place. So we should be able to, starting at the top, gear 1, look at these, and what you'll see is that they're all pretty much identical. Focus, please. That's a crazy focus, but anyways, I'll try not to, I mean, that'll be onerous if I do that for everyone, but I think the important thing to point out here is that you can see that, here, I'll do this once with the focus lockdown. Okay, the important thing to note here is that there are a bunch of gears in there, and the blocker will intersect them on the side, right in here, and then the post, the fence rather, will intersect them here, and then there's a little bit higher lip here. These are the two ends of the gate that I was feeling for. Okay, so let's see, that's gear 1. And then there are spacers in between the gears. So there's a spacer. It's gear 2. There's a spacer. Gear 3. Spacer. Gear 4. Spacer. Oh, gear 5 and the next spacer. Hold on. Actually, that was 6. Okay, here's 5. Not that it matters, they're all the same. I guess they're subtly different. Give some sort of binding order, but they're more or less the same. Okay, 6. 7. Or the spacer before. This is 7. Last spacer. 8. Okay. So now you can see up in there, maybe you can't, but you can see all those. Come on, spotlight. I'll focus one more time on this. You can see all those levers moving as the key goes in and out. Okay. So let's see, to keep on going, we need to take the springs out. So there's one post here. It's a little tight. See if I can pull that out. Yep. Okay, there's one post there. And then that was holding this leaf spring in place. And actually, this is something to talk about because, you know, these locks can get damaged over time, and one thing that can happen is these springs can bend, and that can prevent the levers from springing back. But all you need to do is to bend these leaf springs back in the right position, and that should work just fine again. All right, so now that we've taken one of the leaf springs out, these levers here will fall on this side. It looks like one's stuck. Oh no, there it is. There are the 4 levers on that side. And so there's a post here. And take those out. Okay. So now these are the actual levers. And then we have the other side. And similarly, we have a leaf spring. Right here. Okay, see that that's well intact. And then that'll allow these other levers to fall out. Or rather, fall down, and then I push this. Well, and I'm glad that I showed you all the levers working perfectly before, because my fear has materialized. I'll tell you with that in a second. First off, here's the other 4 levers. Again, they're all the same. This is the part that you're putting your pick on here to kind of push the lever back and turn the gear. Okay. And here's what I'm upset about. This is not my doing, unfortunately. The warding, this was so pitted and corroded that these had broken off, and I had repaired them so well. But you can see in the stress of gutting this lock, those 2 fell out. So here's what the warning looks like on the healthy side. And you can see these 2 posts broke off there and there. That's too bad. But it seemed that if I don't take it apart, I might be able to get it back in place again, so that this lock is working just as well. Let's see what's left. We've got the shutter here. You can see that works. We can take the shutter off, I guess. So there are 2 springs on either side here. So I have to release one at a time. And then this side comes out. And then those 2 springs will be attached to this side. So you can see the 2 springs are intact. And the other part of the shutter is intact. And with that, we've got the core. Can't take this apart any further. Let's see, this back plate, we can take the fence off. So we'll start by pushing this, and then I can rock this piece back. until the fence comes off. And we're getting a close-up of this. Camera keeps on changing. All right. And then, let's see. This is the rest. This top piece comes off. There are 2 springs there holding that in. And then this piece can get twisted, and it has 2 springs of its own holding it in. Okay, that's about all we can do there. And the only thing I don't think I've taken apart yet is the blocker here. And so if you twist this piece, you can take it out. And I showed you a close-up of the business end already. But the key thing I want to show here is that there are actually 2 springs. And they're stacked one in the other. Okay. Those are the 2 springs. And that is the Fichet 787 exterior side. I'll just do one more close-up of the pieces here. There we go. A little bit better focus. All right. There we have it.